Now, my privilege to present to you the class of 2021 Valedictorian, Matthew Masahiro Tengtrakool.
Thank you, Mr. Sullivan. Good afternoon, faculty, parents, friends, and family. It is an honor for me to speak today as our class of Valedictorian, and I am so happy to see everyone here together for once. So, if you don't mind, I'm going to take this opportunity to take a class selfie. Give me one moment here. Let's see if we can fit everyone in. We'll go right side. Ready? All right. Left side. All right. Awesome. Thank you. And while this is our graduation, I'd like to reiterate what others have said. It's also a big day for parents and family. It'd be great if you guys can give a big hug and thank you to your parents. After spending 4 years with you all, I do feel for some of them. As for myself, I thank my parents for putting up with me all these years. Truly, I am eternally grateful for your relentless support and dedication. All of the packed school lunches, the cheering at my games, the sacrifices that you guys have made in order for me to realize my dreams. To my family in the audience, my grandparents, you have never ceased to inspire me with an innate resilience and tenacity. To my grandparents from Japan who have passed, I know that you guys are watching today, and I hope to make you proud with an abundant legacy. Huge shout out to my dog Petey, who is not allowed to come today because he's a loud little fella, but I know that he's cheering for me at home. And to the countless teachers, coaches, and mentors throughout my educational career, I'm forever indebted. You have empowered and emboldened the person that I am today. Finally, to my friends and peers, class of 2021, the rest of my speech is dedicated to you. Today marks the definitive end of one chapter and thus the commencement of another. Though keep in mind that the next chapter is yet to be written, and we as a whole will determine whether the story of our lives will be the next bestseller. It is important to acknowledge that your position today does not define what you can become. It is a scale, direction, and potential relative to where you started. That's a little physics analogy, complimentary of Dr. J. It's actually a rare opportunity to be sharing the stage with some of my good friends. Jonathan, Allison, and I wanted to celebrate this moment and try to unify our speeches through the lens of Newton's 3 laws of motion. Newton stated that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. No matter your current status, those who fuel validation are pushing against the wall, and those who internalize action will triumph, because complacency kills dreams. So today, we celebrate because we've all made it to this momentous moment in our lives. But we're all a work in progress. For those unhappy or unsatiated with their time here, use this as a clean slate, a new start to prove yourself. Be a bootstrapper, a nonconformist, and mold your definition of success. The past is all but practice. It seems like just a few years ago that I was sitting at Fox Hill learning about fossils, the layers of the earth, past presents, and world wars. We held some revolutions of our own at the lunch table, and a few of the greatest moments transpired through a serendipity of recess. I remember the group projects, the invention convention, the trips to the zoo, and the planetarium. The world seemed so small back then. The faces, fresh and vibrant. The night sky so close that we could grab some of the stars. Nevertheless, life and maturation are a series of disillusionment and peculiar challenges. This year, more than ever, we have learned that the world we live in is not idyllic, and the people that we look up to are not perfect. It is easy to fall into the mirage of money and power, yet in living a purposeful life, never forget the feelings of creative liberty, the days of recess and relativity, the youthful innocence, the humble awe, unbridled hope, self-reliance, the curiosity. One thing that I've always loved to do is to travel, and growing up, I was fortunate enough to visit remote places in the world, whether it's safari riding through Zimbabwe, scuba diving in the Great Barrier Reef, or climbing Machu Picchu. But one memory in particular stands out most to me. 3 years ago, I visited the Amazon rainforest and stayed deep in a secluded village more than 2 hours by boat. Walking around and getting to know the local people, I was surprised by how happy they were, despite the primitive living conditions and limited resources. I met kids skinning and gutting catfish that they recently caught out of the river, laughing and smiling as they offered me some. In return, I brought along with me school supplies and clothes to give out, and as cliche as it may sound, it really changed my worldview to see their eyes light up when I gave them a pencil and their pure joy of drawing in a notebook. What I learned in life is that life and the pursuit of happiness are simple. Joy comes from fulfillment of helping others, so let us all make this world a better place. Our world is flowing with endless cultural exploration and ubiquitous opportunities for conversation, and we, class of 2021, are a pack of protagonists, unique and ambitious individuals, each manifesting immense narratives. I wish us all brightened horizons and boundless exploration, the aesthetics of the world and the profoundness of the people in it. But I ask that you never forget where we came from. We came from here, the town of Friday night lights and Saturday morning NASBA practices, the mortared brick walls, the Chromebooks, lasted numbers, and pep rallies. And that is beautiful. That is irreplaceable. So now, in some of our final moments as a whole class, I ask that you look to your left and to your right, peers, friends, some of whom you know well or are just realizing existed. Remember them and the culmination of passing perspectives, not as a fleeting moment of regret and remorse, but one of optimism in these smiling faces. That feeling of, you know what, we're all going to turn out all right after all. So, class of 2021, have a great time, stay in touch, dream big, dream boldly. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Matthew.